That's right, after seeing Chuck Norris on screen for the first time in forever, I thought one thing. I'm not shaving for this video, I'm keeping the stubble. Hopefully by the end of this video, I'm gonna have the source of Chuck Norris's powers. You can't even tell I didn't shave, can you? How depressing. The Expendables 2. So doing this video is going to be simple because the concept of the Expendables 2 is pretty simple. The concept of the first Expendables movie was to take all the action stars of the past and put them all in one movie now. Thing is though, a couple of the big actors of the 80s missed out on that party. Namely Jean Claude Van Damme and Chuck Norris. They were supposed to be in it, then they weren't, and then I guess they saw the first movie and they're like, hey, we're down for a sequel if you want to do that. Please, we need jobs. So now we have the Expendables 2. With more mayhem and testosterone and explosions and guns and all the cool things that make the world go round and make it just a little more awesome. Movie-wise, that is. From the get-go, the movie starts out in an action scene. So you're like, yeah, all right, so I know what I'm in for. 50 cals are shredding through guys, heads are exploding. You're like, it's so beautiful. It starts out completely kick-ass, and then it goes, you know, and they have, all right, a little bit of dialogue going on. The action kind of slows down, then it picks back up. There's another action scene. The Expendables 2 had a lot less downtime than the first Expendables movie. The first Expendables movie, I felt like there were a lot of scenes where you're like, shoot something, please. I felt this one had a lot less downtime. They fixed that. Still had downtime, but any action movie's gonna have downtime. Jean Claude Van Damme's the bad guy in this movie. I didn't know that. I thought he was just gonna be part of the crew. Like, oh, okay, now Van Damme's in. No, he's the bad guy. He's the douchebag. And he is a great douchebag. Dude owns his role in this movie. You can tell he had a good time with this movie. He's like if Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat just had a really bad childhood and he was raised by Shao Kahn. It's good to see him back on screen. He really kicks ass. It's good to see him as a villain too. When Chuck Norris came on screen, I half expected him to be just like Dr. Manhattan, you know? Disassembling tanks with his mind and crushing them into balls and slamming them on the ground. Big blue dong just swinging around. You're like, that's the Lord with a gun. The dude's awesome. He's an icon of pop culture. His acting is every bit as good as it was in Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean that sincerely. Kick-ass guy though. He can beat the piss out of me, so I mean shit. I can't talk shit about him. I can, but you know, he'll end my life with his mind. Some of the dialogue in this movie, I'm like, that's just terrible. I mean, it's cheesy, it's ridiculous, it's terrible, but the good thing about this movie is it knows exactly what it is. Some scenes you know they wrote it and they're like, yeah, this is just gonna be cheesy. The entire concept of the Expendables is a throwback to 80s action movies. When a movie knows exactly what it is and doesn't try to be some modern art masterpiece, you gotta give it credit. You can't really be like, oh, I'm gonna ding you on the dialogue there, buddy. Because the person who penned the script's like, I know about the dialogue, you dumb shit. And I loved how they had a bunch of references on their movies. I'm back. I'm not gonna tell you a lot of the references, but there's some good references in this movie. And the end of this movie, guys, the end of this movie, I had dreamed the end of this movie. I was like, what would it be like if these specific action heroes were in one action scene and they were just tearing the shit out of everything? It happened. I saw it willed into reality. But, well, cinematic reality, which still isn't real, but it was real enough for me. The end of this movie is complete kick-ass. It's what you wanted in the first Expendables movie. Might not have gotten entirely. Now you have it in the Expendables 2. The end of this movie alone made me hyped for the third movie. The movie knows what it is. It knows it's an action movie that's a throwback to 80s action movies. It knows it's cheesy, and it knows how to show you a good time. Is it perfect? No, not at all. But did I have fun with the movie? Yep, I did. The Expendables 2 as a whole is a completely kick-ass time, no alcohol required. If you're looking to watch a movie that's gonna hold you over till The Great Gatsby comes out, I wouldn't recommend this one. But if you want a cool kick-ass movie that fixed some of the flaws in the first Expendables movie, still isn't perfect, but is a good time, Expendables 2, it's pretty fun. All right, so favorite action movie of all time. What is it? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.
You get out of here! I break you! Land!